Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a different kind of video. As you can see, the weather is kind of gloomy and don't really have anything planned, but we're just going to go out and see what we can find today. So no script, no plans. Let's go. At the first pool, and you can see there's this black line that a lot of pools get around the steps. It's just oil and grease and dirt sticks to it, and it builds up over time. So an easy way to get that off is to just get some waterline tile cleaner and you just spray it on there, and then it just wipes right off. Pretty easy. Just give it a spray and it wipes right off. I'll finish these up here in a second, but I also want to show you over here into the skimmer. Look how bad the skimmers get too. They get that nasty funk in there. Some biofilm. Just spray it and clean it up. I'll show you on this first pool here. So the liner lock is coming out of the tracking. Hope you can see this. And what this is just a bead of plastic that runs around the top of the liner. And this one's falling out right now. It's pretty old, and when plastic gets old, it gets very hard, brittle. Also, when it gets hot and cold, the plastic can contract and expand. So over time, this stuff used to be pretty flexible. Now it's pretty stiff. So probably have to replace it when it gets warmer. Right now we're in the middle of January, so I'm not gonna be messing with it too much. We just came off of a freeze, so trying to be very delicate with everyone's vinyl liners right now. So yeah, that's liner lock. And your pool doesn't usually need it when it's new, but over time, when the liner fits into the tracking, it can get spread out and then the liner will fall out of the tracking. So the liner lock is an extra bead on top that kind of helps keep the liner in place and stop it from falling out. If you have a new pool, I don't recommend you put liner lock on it right away, because obviously you're just going to be stretching it out before it needs to be used. So I guess here we're going to show how to do a backwash real quick. So first thing is we're going to take this hose and roll it out. Now we're going to turn the pump off. Pump is off. We're going to push the handle down and spin it around to backwash. Now we're going to push start again. Turn the pump back on. As the pump starts going, starting the backwash. So what's happening during a backwash is the water is being reversed inside the filter here, and it's actually pushing the water up from the bottom, and it's fluffing up all that stuff on top and pumping it out the line here. So when you come over here, this will be all your nasty water coming out. So if the filter's really dirty, it's going to be very milky looking, but then after a few minutes it'll slowly turn back clear again. It shouldn't take too long. Also, if you have a little sight glass on the filter, sometimes you can see how dirty the water is coming out of here. You might not have a hose that goes out. You might have a pipe that runs out to the street, so you don't actually see the water coming out. Make sure there's no valve on the line. If the valve was blocked, then obviously you're going to build up pressure in here and cause some damage. So just make sure there's no valve to turn on before you start pumping water out that way. All right, so we've let it run for a few minutes. Now after you backwash, you're going to spin it around to rinse. Now rinse is going to push the water through the filter the regular way, except instead of going to the pool, it's going to pump the water out there. And this will get all the dirt and sand that might be caught inside of the filter valve here and clean it out. And that way we don't blow anything back into the pool when we put it back on filter. Now you only got to rinse for about 10-15 seconds or so, just enough to get the water flushed through there and get any gunk out. All right, and lastly, we're gonna go and put it back onto filter. Turn the pump back on again. So if you'll notice, I went clockwise with it. It's a good idea to always go clockwise in the same direction every time. Even if you're going from waste back to filter, still go all the way around, because the gasket in there can get twisted up. And if you're jerking it back and forth, there's a lot greater chance that the gasket inside of there is going to get twisted. So if you go the same way all the time, it keeps it nice and smooth, and the gasket will stay happy inside of there. So here's a tip for you. If you're thinking about putting bamboo around your pool, don't ever do that. Horrible idea. The bamboo will quickly get out of control. You see this hanging over the pool. It sheds all year long, all the time, every time the wind blows. Very difficult to get out of the pool. It's kind of a pain in the ass to clean out. It clogs everything, clogs the pumps. So if you're thinking about putting bamboo, it might look good, but please don't. So on this pool, we're gonna have a video coming up here pretty soon that's gonna show you how to replace the Polaris motor, or the whole Polaris pump actually. I tried to do a seal replacement on this pump before, but it had some other issues. Something to watch out for if you ever do change the seal in these Polaris pumps is that when you put the new seal in the seal plate, you gotta be careful that you don't crack the seal plate. It's really hard to see, but this one actually has a hairline crack in it. And had I put the new seal in there and put it all together and not noticed that, then it would have just leaked again. So, got to replace the seal plate. The impeller on this is also bad, all stretched out. So, between all the issues that's going on, we're just going to go ahead and put a whole new pump in there. So stay tuned for that. That's coming later.